Okay, Mario with MIA Microflight once again, and I wanted to come back to this print. This is the print that failed. Originally, you can see how this machine was actually printing this part. Of course, this part is a thicker version of what I have here. These are my own parts designed from scratch for those little trains for little kids. And it's to replace the wooden versions that you can purchase from various manufacturers. These parts have a little, not a little, but a lot better connectivity than the wooden ones, in my opinion, because the wooden ones are very, very loose. And although I have printed some, this is a part from Thingiverse. It's part of a kind of a similar set, but you can see how high these parts are. And this is also very lightweight. Because the infill is very low on these parts right here. But this is a part that I downloaded from Thingiverse. But these are my parts, and you can see how much more compact my tracks are. These parts right here, and they have connectivity very similar to these parts right here, but they have they're designed to connect with my own connectors, and that allow these parts to have a much better fit. And they're also easier to disconnect. So this is going to be the new track, and I did these lower profile just to save on materials and to speed up the print process. So these are very low profile parts. I don't think you need to have those thick parts. I think this would be just fine, you know, for creating tracks for little kids, so they can play with those little toys that are designed for these tracks. I've designed my own sort of toys, you know, to fit with these tracks as additional accessories, and so I'll probably be printing those as well along with these tracks. But I wanted to do this video and show that the issue that I had with the part failing in that print, it was due to a shift in position of the X or the Y axis, which I showed in my previous video how I fixed that by making the bed more tightening the eccentric nuts that are on the side of the XY, which are underneath the table here, tightening the nut that was holding the timing belt pulley for the belt on the Y-axis, and just re-leveling the bed, and so it's printing beautiful. So I wanted to continue with that section or that series of videos, and I'm going to keep running this machine and doing some further tests. There's a part here that I was having issues, and I mentioned that in one of my videos, that I actually assemble kind of similar assembly of parts here. But that part is of a wagon or a locomotive for HO size trains. It's just the shell, you know, the body, and I added some other parts, so it was taking up a good portion of this size table here in Cura. And when I went to print here, I couldn't stop the part. It would just sit there. It would not reset to 0 here, because typically this resets at 0. Begins here. That's when the filament, or rather the hotbed and the extruder starts building up in heat, starts heating up, and once it reaches that temperature, it typically kicks in. But I wasn't able to get that file to kick in, and I wasn't even able to stop or pause it, so I had to reset that. So I'm going to have to redo that part, come back and do another video on that, and let's see if it was an issue of the slicing file. Maybe I had too many parts. Maybe there was just too much data in that file. You know, something that I'm still not sure what happened, but I'm going to revisit that file and see if I can isolate that issue that I had with this not being able to clear or pause it or stop it. You know, that particular file. Every other file just works just fine. So I'm kind of leaning into the file being probably defective. It wasn't properly slides correctly, or maybe just too many items in you know a compact in one file. So I'll come back to that in a later video, but these parts are pretty beautiful. And I've already said that in all my videos that I really love this machine. I ordered another one, and I'm still waiting for the Core XY. I believe that's a Sapphire Core XY that I ordered along with this machine. And so once that machine gets in here, I will also do another series of videos on that machine. These are machines that came out 3 years ago, and I just stumbled on this company. Two Trees, fortunately, they still have these machines, and I'm very, very thrilled. You know, I like this architecture. For me, this works even if the firmware or the controller was not that good. These are great parts. I mean, it's working just fine. So I see nothing wrong with it. But even if I had to upgrade this, I would still pay what I pay for this machine. It was a lot cheaper than the Artillery Sidewinder X3 Pro. It's a much better machine, you know, with all these metal components here. Everything's metal here, and that is a sensor, a filament out sensor. I mean, it's a beautiful machine. It's a well made, well engineered machine, and so yeah. So from that perspective, I'm really thrilled. So kudos again to Two Trees. Thank you. Stay tuned for more.